What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday. Super happy Saturday to the birthday girl, my beautiful wife, Courtney Jean. I love you, baby. More than anything. And I'll be home in a few minutes. We're going to go have a great day. On to the fishing. All right. I came out this morning a little bit late. Water temp out here is 78 degrees. I came out this morning and it's even now. You can see behind me, it's almost flat calm, a little bit of a ripple. This morning it was even less. Beautiful morning. Middle of July. This is summer, baby. This is summer in Central New York, and it's been pretty beautiful recently, all through the season, quite honestly. I came out and I keep having this when it's super flat, calm, and high, bright, sunny skies. I want to go look for these smallmouth up in the super shallows, shorelines, up on mid-lake structure, reefs, and whatnot. So that's what I did this morning. I came out and I got on the first structure that I came to, and I was throwing a little black marabou jig. I saw my buddy Ian Renfrew the other day, 2 days ago, I guess Thursday, out here, and we were talking about it. He makes them, brown dog tackle, Phoenix, New York. He makes beautiful ones. And we were talking about throwing them because Monday I had been up in Oswego, and I saw all these bass, these smallmouth, just milling around in the shallows, and you'd throw stuff at them and they'd come over and look at it and they didn't commit. And we were talking when I saw them on the water, and so I came out and I said this morning I'm going to go do that. And I threw it on my ultralight, which in hindsight wasn't the best rod to throw that on in and around weed cover, especially with super light line, which is what I have on it. But first cast of the morning, boom, big keeper walleye, almost 20 inches, beautiful fish. He was in about 4 foot of water, and he inhaled that jig. 2 casts later, I hit another one. A cast after that, I hit another one and lost it at the boat. He had a big face full. I saw him. He was a keeper. He had a big face full of weeds, and that little jig hook pulled right out. You don't often see, unless you're trolling, you don't often see a walleye come into the boat with a face full of weeds. But then that spot died. I came around the corner and I fished the next spot. And I start coming upwind along the shallows off the windward point as it went out into deep water. I was coming up it, and I've seen fish porpoising and splashing around all morning. Usually you think they're carp. I guess they could be anything. But I was coming up and I'm still throwing that marabou jig, and I see this fish go like this twice in about 3 foot of each other. And you can tell a carp. You know, you can tell certain fish, and I tell you, it sure looked like a dark back and smaller. So I threw a topwater on, the old Rebel Pop R, which I love. And catching fish on topwater is, to me, the most fun thing you could possibly do. Boom! I fired it out there. I didn't pop it 4 times, and he missed it. I missed him. Popper comes out of the water, goes about 2 feet. It stops. I'm trying to catch up the line. Before I could get caught up to it, he'd swirled on it and just wadded it. I come back on him like this, and beautiful smallie, 3.5 pounds, I don't know. Boy, they fight for everything they got. Love it. Now I was fishing that topwater on a bait casting setup on a JT Rods Black Rain Series bait caster. You can throw a topwater, especially a popper. You can throw a topwater on a spinning rod, no problem whatsoever. And in some instances, it's better and easier, quite honestly, to do it on a spinning rod, especially if you have to cast into a stiff wind. You get a lot better control and distance with a spinning rod. So while you're listening to this, look at that right there. And you guys, look at that fish on bait right there. And then you look at them right here. So that light blue is the bait because it's scattered and small. And there's Mr. Fat Lips right there. Huh, looks like a couple of his buddies with him on the bottom. That's pretty cool. I'm just sitting here drifting while we're talking. Might have to mark that spot. So if you're watching this and go, man, that sounds cool, I'd like to try that, but I don't have any bait casting setups. You don't need one. You don't need one. And typically on a popper, you can get away with braid, no problem, to a fluorocarbon leader, or just run straight mono because the mono floats and it keeps, although the rod I have that popper on, because it was a different setup, it was set up for jerk baits, and with a jerk bait, I run straight fluorocarbon on it because the fluorocarbon sinks. But honestly, when you're moving a bait like a popper, yes, it does sink the nose a little bit, no question. But it still worked. The fish still ate it. So if you were saying to yourself, I'm going to set up just a topwater rod, I would typically go braid to a fluorocarbon leader or monofilament. So yeah, it was fun. And I had one other blow up on it shortly after that, and that was it. And I'm getting ready to head in now anyway. So have a great Saturday. Love you guys. See you from somewhere tomorrow. Keep your tip up.